Difficulty settings in video games serve a very important purpose. Essentially, they grant less experienced or less skilled players access to later stages of certain games without forcing them to spend weeks honing their dismal abilities, or as Dark Souls players would term, getting good. Games like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden pride themselves on their often excruciating difficulty levels, so it's only fair that less able players are given the option of making things a little easier for themselves. After all, they paid for the game, so surely they have a right to experience as much of them as possible. Unfortunately, some developers don't feel the same way, taking every opportunity possible to berate, taunt, or otherwise humiliate their players for taking the easy route. In some cases, not only will the game actively antagonize the player, but it will restrict content from them, forcing them to replay huge chunks of the story or even deny them the satisfaction of a worthwhile ending. To put it bluntly, some games hate you, and if you don't show them the respect they deserve, they'll let you know all about it. With that in mind, I'm Jules from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 video games that mock you for playing on easy mode. Number 10. Ninja Gaiden Black. The Ninja Gaiden games are notorious for their difficulty, like trying to scale Everest with your teeth difficult. In fact, it's one of the central appeals of the series. So much so that an easy mode has rarely been included in past entries. In Ninja Gaiden Black, however, an easy mode was begrudgingly tacked on by the developers in order to satiate their Western audiences, who were seen as less competent than their Japanese counterparts. In Ninja Gaiden Black, a new mode was included entitled Ninja Dog, which made the game considerably easier. It also forced you to wear a very pretty purple ribbon for the entirety of the game, which doesn't sound too bad, but Ayan, the game's secondary character, will verbally mock you throughout the entire game for your weakness, scolding you even in victory. So that's nice. Number 9. Wolfenstein: The New Order. On the difficulty selection screen of Wolfenstein: The New Order, you're presented with a few different options. So far, so normal. But the easiest of these modes are called Please Don't Hurt Me and Can I Play Daddy? The latter of which actually depicting an image of protagonist BJ Blazkowicz sucking on a pacifier and wearing a baby's bonnet. How horrifying this image is of a fully grown man adorned in children's swaddling that it haunts my dreams. This was actually a carryover from Wolfenstein 3D, which did something very similar back in 1992, which actually means that Wolfenstein has been making you feel like a worthless baby for over 20 years. How wonderfully emasculating. Number 8. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. Imagine you've made it all the way to the very end of Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, and just as the story is climaxing, you're left on the edge of a very indecisive cliffhanger. Well, if you're playing on easy mode, that's exactly what will happen. At the very end of the game, you aren't actually told whether or not the protagonist has survived the destruction of the big bad space station. The game just cuts to credits unless you're playing on medium difficulty or above, which is kind of a dick move, as at no point leading up to this would you think that it would make a difference. If you do manage to beat the game on a harder difficulty, you'll find out whether or not Dash the hero has made it out alive. Spoilers, he does. I mean, look at that chin, it could deflect a blow from a Mandalorian